Hey!
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Regrettable Reviews. I am your host, Regrettable. Ah!
Oh,
I don't have control of that audio.
Where's that audio coming from?
It's got to be coming from that TV. From you somewhere.
this is fun.
I'm dying. No.
Literally touched nothing.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't.
Just lower the volume on that TV.
Is it? It's that one? Let me see. It's both TVs. Where's the mute button?
I can also.
There. How about that?
Oh wait, it's gonna take a second. Nope.
How about that? Doesn't seem to have worked. What is it playing audio from?
Mute site doesn't work. I know what it is.
What?
Figured it out. It's YouTube.
Whoopsies.
What's on YouTube?
Hi, everybody.
What's YouTube?
Never
You
mind.
you had YouTube open. You son of a bitch. Fuck me.
Hashtag produced.
Right in the fat ass. All right. My fat ass. Yeah, so anyway, I'm regrettably Arthur, and that was a regrettable introduction, and this is my co-host.
Very regrettably, Bridget.
Yeah, we're all regrettably here. No, tell me that. You gotta wait.
Where is this happening?
No, hold on. This is fine. Now it stopped.
That one was Instagram.
You also had Instagram up
Yeah.
with audio on.
Oh, my Lord.
Phenomenal. So that's a choice.
We
I have
are
touched-
crushing it.
Somebody
Download
unmuted those
settings.
sites, just so you know. Somebody went on that computer and unmuted YouTube and unmuted
Yeah.
Instagram, and whoever did it is a terrible person because don't do that on that computer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna start the movie. We were watching 1999's Wing Commander,
We sure are.
and that sounds like you have an opinion. I'll start. Oh my god!
That one's on you.
We don't really watch the movies on YouTube. We watched it for free on YouTube with ads.
We watched it for free on
yesterday.
YouTube with ads literally yesterday,
But
and
today-
they pulled it today.
Yeah, just rent or buy. So of course, producer Chris put in the moolah to buy that because he wanted to own it forever. So here's what I'll say right off the get-go. I remember this being like a okay film when I was a kid. So I went back thinking with the 4.3 and everything, and
Mhm.
it's generally reviled. Nobody really loves this movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. It has problems, but
You know, I had a bad feeling about this one from the start.
what made it bad? The star-studded cast?
I just didn't like it.
Is it the
man.
Matthew Lillard?
No,
is
I
it the Matthew
love Matthew Lillard.
But he doesn't fit in this environment very well.
Here's the thing. He's one of the high points. He does his best. Every single role you give that man, he tears it up.
Yeah, so I wrote
whether
here,
or not he fits.
later on there's a scene where he doesn't pay attention to the captain on their transport ship and goes too fast. And I said Matthew Lillard almost gets them killed by being Matthew Lillard. Because that's just him in front of a camera just going, "What, man?"
Yeah. Yeah, I love Matthew Lillard.
Freddie Prinze Jr. is fine, you know. Another Jurgen
At least-
Prochnow, by the way.
Yeah. No,
What are we doing?
what was that about? Also David Warner, who I know from Twin Peaks, but has probably been in so many other
and David
things.
Suchet, and I just verified right before we started because I wrote this down earlier, and then never did the research. But yes, Lieutenant O'Hutt or whatever is Captain Panaka from Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, which also came
Oh
out in
no
1990.
shit!
Same year, the dude was in 2 sci-fi blockbusters.
Was this really a
No,
blockbuster?
God, no.
Oh,
Fuck no.
I don't know.
But one thing that happened in this movie, I think, got overshadowed by other things happening in 1999. For instance, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, The Matrix, and just other big things in sci-fi and fantasy that just blew this out of the water. But something that you might not have noticed in that one scene when they're about to like jump to hyperspace or whatever, they do the spinny camera thing. That is one of the like 3 things the Matrix is known for.
Did they?
This came out 2 weeks before the Matrix.
Shit, dog.
But it just got overshadowed by the Matrix. So you thought, ooh, look at those creative things the Wachowskis did. And no, they didn't.
Wow.
Someone
Whack.
else did first.
I was kind of surprised by the number of names that I knew as I was watching the credits. Also, we got half the Scooby gang up in here.
I mean, you do have Shaggy and Freddy.
Yeah.
Or Fred. You know what? If they could have got Linda
Cardellini.
Thank you. I was going to say Cordellini, and I was like, that's not right. So I was waiting. Linda Cardellini. If they'd gotten her to play like Rosie or Angel,
Yeah.
we could skip right ahead to how they could have made this movie better.
Yeah.
Casting Cardellini.
Yeah, cast Linda Cardellini.
And anything, but especially my
fantastic
best dreams. Yeah, so I thought it was good. I
don't
think
think the
great
CGI is
job.
bad.
No,
It really isn't for 1999.
Like the CGI in Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace is not as good as this, in my opinion. It's very cheesy.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen The Phantom Menace.
And there's more attention to detail in this. They're not just like, here's a couple of things. We're just going to copy paste them on the screen. Like this whole mining facility, there's so much love and detail in this.
Yeah, it does look really good.
Yeah, all the sets are designed really well too. The internals, the ships. I
did like the set design.
I like it's short like a submarine. In fact, the whole thing plays out like they're on submarines. If you took this, put them in submarines, this is U-571.
Yeah.
Later on when they're doing that.
Oh, their hats are stupid. It's such a dumb complaint, but they're dumb hats.
I mean, it's a variation on like a beret and a ski cap kind of hat. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not nuts about it.
It's not great, but at least it's something unique. I'm more upset with the stainless steel coffee mug that wouldn't keep coffee warm.
Yeah, no, not even a little bit.
It's thin, so it would probably make the handle really hot and not easy to hold, and it would just sap the heat right out of it.
Fantastic. Also, this does not need to be almost 2 hours.
I mean, they could have trimmed it out for sure. I don't know where. There's definitely some scenes that are longer than they need to be. But I can't think of like a large singular storyline that could get cut, because it all does seem to drive the plot, except for the 2 love stories that don't need to happen.
Yeah, no, not even a little bit.
Best 1, but maybe 0.
I'm gonna second the at best 1.
Yeah, and if it was gonna be 1, I kind of would rather it was Maniac and Rosie.
Yeah, honestly, would have preferred that.
Take all of the time we spent on sort of building up a relationship with the other 2 and put it just on them. And
I'll buy it more.
Yeah. In fact, replace every scene that has Angel and Blair in it with Maniac and Rosie. And then that relationship builds over time and is much better.
Yeah.
And then when she dies, it's much more
impactful. Yeah.
Then they had sex at least once, possibly more.
Yeah.
After they have this whole no attachment speech.
Yeah. I thought the Kilrathi costumes were pretty sweet.
A little cheesy, but I'm pretty sure they were practical, so I was I'm willing to buy it.
I'll take it. If you went to the time and effort to actually put something on the screen in front of me, I will prefer that every single time.
Yeah. And you're familiar with Wing Commander, right? Oh, it's a video game franchise that started in 91. Wing Commander 2 was 92. Then 3 was 94, 95. Then there was some kind of offshoot, I think. Then there was the movie. The last Wing Commander game was, I think, 2007.
Interesting.
And they move to like more political intrigue, but this is very much follows all of it, including the fact that the main character is Christopher Blair in the things, in the games.
Yeah, I knew it was a video. I know why people used to say that like video game movies were cursed, or like video game adaptations were cursed.
I mean, they were hard to pull off, was part of it.
Very much so.
Sci-fi, fantasy, this wasn't easy to do, you know. They're revolutionary games, I'll say that. But the movie,
I wouldn't know. I've never played them.
Yeah, well, I actually have never played them either. But what I mean is, it's a gameplay style that's pretty unique. It's a very story-driven game, and starting in the third one, the cutscenes, which there are a lot of, so it's like you're playing through a movie, are done with live actors.
Shit, dog, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, so you're on the bridge talking to the captain and stuff, and also the choices you make during your missions and how you perform dictates how the story plays. So
I might have to give this shit a try.
You go and do it perfectly, and so that might give you a slightly different storyline towards the end of the game.
I am so here for that.
Yeah, I'd like to see a remake of that. Speaking of, everybody talks about remakes suck and everything. This would be a movie that's prime for a remake. It had all the bones to me. It just didn't hit because
I'm not gonna say that you could do nothing with it, because I don't think that's true.
There's something there.
As much as I really kind of didn't like this, I'm not gonna say that there's.
What's your biggest takeaways? Like, what made you not like this?
I was just bored.
You'll watch 3 hours of Dune.
Yes.
Where there's
happily
less action and no intonation.
And I'm whatever that says about me as a person, we'll let that stand. But yeah.
All right then. I don't know. There's a lot more action in this. There's a lot more. Well, I don't want to say there's more story. Dune is pretty story heavy.
Dune is extremely story
but
heavy.
It's like a very small plot. In that nothing deviates from it. Nothing.
Yeah.
Although this is kind of like a one shot as well, where there's nothing. But it's because it's one movie. If this had turned into a series, I feel like the movies could have gotten more interesting. We could take the fight to the Kilrathi,
I don't want a series, so
now watch a prequel about the Pilgrim Wars,
Yeah. Oh, I thought the whole Pilgrim thing was stupid.
Well, I don't have a problem with any part of it, but they just never really explain it very well until you're basically don't care anymore.
Yeah.
You've moved on, and now they just kind of shoehorn it back in so that he can navigate.
Also, this movie has weird Christian overtones.
Which part? Which side?
What do you mean which side?
Which side? You have the Confeds, the Pilgrims, and the Kilrathi. There's 3 different
I just
factions.
mean Blair specifically, with his obsession with it, not obsession, but they keep going back to the cross. But this is weird.
He establishes multiple times, it doesn't mean anything to me. It was my mother's. It's because of her that I wear it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the undertones there would be
that's what it immediately
if your Christian
signaled.
Parents died and you took their cross.
That's what it immediately signaled to me.
I mean, early on it did, until the first time he had to explain it.
I suppose. This is one of those movies where I can see that the cast is trying. They just weren't really given anything that great to work with.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't remember if Chris Roberts, if he wrote this and the characters are based on characters he created, it said in the opening. So I have to imagine he was the writer for the video games too.
I would assume.
Which maybe that's the problem, is he's too close to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I didn't like Blair because he's way too cocky until very far into the film.
I would agree. Freddie Prinze Jr. is cute though.
Yeah, of course. It's Freddie Prinze Jr.
That was one of the things that made me want to sort of keep my eyes on the screen.
Now I just want Sarah Michelle Gellar to be the other woman in this movie. I want
Fuck it, they can all pull it off.
Linda Cardellini should be Rosie, and Angel should be played by Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Perfect. Anyway.
And then we need a dog.
Yeah.
When did Scooby-Doo come out? That had to be not too long after this.
2000 something.
I say late 2000 or early 2001.
Yeah, it cannot have been much after this. So
Yeah.
it really was like a direct follow-up.
Just quick aside, I fucking love that movie so much.
The live-action Scooby-Doos?
Yes.
I love both of them.
Those movies,
2002, really?
those
Yeah,
movies are
2002.
fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, I love the live-action Scooby-Doos.
Those movies are
I
great.
wish they'd kept doing those.
Yeah, they really should have. Anyway.
So the whole thing, when they first get to the ship and he gets into the cockpit of one of the fighters
Mhm.
and then tries to be such an asshole to her because she's wearing the orange jumpsuit.
Mhm.
It turns out she's the commander. Everything
Which,
about
of
that
course.
scene makes him such an asshole.
Mhm.
Number one, even when he finally gets called out on his bullshit, he's still making excuses. Well, it said it wasn't used. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to climb into that. What does it matter if it wasn't used? Why are you climbing into a piece of
Yeah.
machinery and playing pilot?
Who knows?
They're like fresh out of the academy and think they're such hot shit. And honestly, do we see any like impressive piloting by them? Oh, he does the navigation thing, which is because of his pilgrim DNA or whatever.
Yeah.
But outside of that, do either of them do anything impressive?
I mean, Maniac pulls, like, when he earns his nickname or whatever, he does that stupid stunt.
Oh, where they fly in upside down and way too fast and
Mm-hmm.
then revert.
Yeah.
That's not good piloting.
Yeah.
He
So
almost kills a man and probably caused a lot of damage to the landing gear, which, by the way, why is the landing gear? They just land on a hard surface and slide.
couldn't tell you.
How is that effective? Why aren't they wheels or a VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing? Like, what? That is so human, though. You know,
Yeah.
if we didn't have a way to do anything else, we would just
Just
crash it to
Just
land.
brute force it.
Just crash it to land. That's very much human ingenuity.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, and the whole pilgrim thing, again, it's just so, I just thought it was so dumb. The whole, like, oh, they don't think like us.
Okay, but that stems also the fact that it's Jurgen Prochnow. It's always weird when someone gives racial slurs or racial dismissals with a German accent.
Never a good thing.
Yeah, you definitely don't. You have the French guy say stuff like that because then people just go, "Oh, okay."
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just thinking, well, that guy's just racist.
Yeah.
Because he's German. He's about to put those people in camps. It's just, it's not my fault. They have a history of starting wars over these things.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, like the idea of the Pilgrims, I don't mind. They were out in space, and over time, they actually had minor evolutions to their physiology that are practical for space travel. You know, like the being a little bit more in tune with gravitational fields and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see
I'll
that
buy
being
it.
that impractical. And that's really all they had going for them until they started to feel superior.
Mhm.
They were the bad guys in the war.
Sure.
Although they never say who threw the first punch and what it was about. They're just talking down about the
They
people who are
keep
no
it-
longer around to defend themselves.
They keep it very vague.
You know, that'd be that's America being like, the Native Americans totally started the war.
Yeah.
And they're totally
No.
the bad guys.
No.
There's no way to know for sure because they can't talk about, you know, the
Yeah.
people that were there are gone.
I liked the practical computer builds that they show at various points throughout this, where they like have like an actual computer set up
Like they have lots of displays and lots of buttons
and all these different light. Like everything looks good.
you know, it reminds me of the Nostromo a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they put a lot of love into those machines
Mm-hmm.
and showing you that there's a lot to do to be a pilot on any kind of piece of machinery like this,
Mm-hmm.
which there would be. I will say this is a sci-fi movie where women are confident in expressing that they are better at it than men.
Which I did appreciate.
It's not much, and then they don't pass the Bechdel test at all.
Not even a little bit.
Not even remotely. The only time two women are in a room together without anyone else present, the only thing they're talking about is getting laid.
Yeah.
So there's strong loss there. But the fact that she's like, yeah, it's because of the estrogen. We deal better with the G forces and have a different reaction time or whatever. We're just better pilots. It's just science.
Hell yeah.
I was just like, all right, I'll take it. Small win.
I will take what I can get, I suppose. Yeah, again, Matthew Lillard, he never phones it in. And I just appreciate that. Oh, I like my note that says space racism ?
Oh.
Spracism?
Spracism. I love it. Yeah, I don't know. And I felt like the main characters here on the whatchamacallit, the
Tiger Claw?
Tiger Claw, thank you. Which is the main ship in the video games.
I assumed.
I didn't like that they seem to like sort of flip-flop. Early on, the captain is like, we'll take his word for it. He's not a pilgrim, he's just a person. And he seems to be very supportive of Paladin, even though he doesn't know he's Paladin yet.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on, he's like, no, fuck that guy and fuck that kid. And then he dies. And Jurgen Prochnow, who is the spracist, is like, they're our only hope. And I love them with all of my heart.
It's a little odd. I'll definitely give you
Jarring.
that. Very jarring. I thought the whole like if someone dies they never existed, I thought that was dumb. Don't really think that's a great way to deal with the sort of precariousness of your situation.
Yeah, why do you think you're getting replacement pilots? You
Yeah.
know, like it's silly. Nobody's being shipped back home on leave, so that means people died. And this has been proven time and time again with studies that people fight better if they feel connected to each other. I'm more likely to put my life on the line to protect other people if I value them.
Yeah.
So having this no close relationships and if you die you never existed is literally the antithesis of proper combat.
Yeah, it's the opposite of what you want.
It leads to very much, well, at least I survived mentality, which
not what
is
you
not
want.
what you want. And in fact, Matthew Lillard is the one who stays behind to try and get Rosie to fly. Now it's his fault and everything, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I've seen co-flying scenes with real airplanes, okay? You can't tell me he couldn't have flown her in.
Sure.
You've never seen like co-flying scenes where like a wing is busted up so one person gets another wing under the broken wing and sort of helps. Well, yeah, that's the thing that you see in movies.
I've never
Watch more
seen...
war movies.
Noted.
Shit
Okay.
that happens in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Been a red hot minute.
Yep, that's the whole thing. Anakin helps fly Obi-Wan in because his wing broke.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Noted.
And this is something that this has over Star Wars or any other space combat thing that I've seen. When they are flying in, they don't just fly next to each other. There's like movement about them that makes it seem like, and like as they get closer, he like moves away and stuff. It's very realistic flight.
Oh yeah.
So they put some effort into that they could have just had them go, just fly in straight.
No, they didn't. They didn't take the easy way out with effects, with production design, and I do appreciate this for that.
Here's one thing that I thought was very strange about this. They first get here and he says, oh, these are rapiers. These are old, right? And later on they talk about the bombers and they're called broadswords. So we have two sword names, right? Why is the thing that because he mentions that they're not like the we trained on back in the academy, the Hornets. Why are they called Hornets? Why weren't they called katanas or
daggers,
anything that's blade related?
That was a little
because
odd.
Clearly you have blade related fighter names.
Yeah,
I don't know. Could
have done a little better there.
It felt like a missed opportunity to me is all.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know enough deep lore of the game to know if in the game there is a blade name.
Yeah. I literally wrote down at one point, I'm so bored and there's still over an hour left.
Well, the movie's like an hour and 40 minutes. So,
This really just didn't hit for me.
well, you know what, though? You're saying there's still an hour left is when you got bored. We're at 22 minutes right now. That means in about 18 minutes, give or take, is when that happens. And that makes sense because all of the interesting stuff in the setup has happened now and nothing else interesting happens for probably a good 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So halfway through that 30 minutes of lull is when you were like, really?
Yeah.
But then stuff starts happening again.
It sort of does.
I get, okay, so again, because it's based on a video game and it's a video game with a singular main character and a singular main ship, they tried really hard to focus on them. I prefer movies with multiple points of view as long as they're not going to conflict with knowledge we should have.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like if we were to flash back to Earth and the Kilrathi have already destroyed Earth, then go over here and see them because they weren't able to get there in time, it would be just boring, the movie, because there's nothing to win or lose. But I would have loved to have flashback to some of the other parts of the fleet fighting off Kilrathi, trying to reach jump points to jump towards Earth.
Yeah,
or
that would have worked.
More combat scenes with other ships, adding to the tension.
I like my note that just says, "Yeah, boy, get them tits out."
What?
I'm pretty sure I'm referring to a scene where Matthew Lillard has his shirt open.
Oh, okay. I don't think anyone else has ever strongly applauded Matthew Lillard's titties, but to each their own.
I'm not ashamed. Anyway. Yeah, I thought that actually it's funny you mentioned that this predates the Matrix static camera thing.
Yeah.
Because I saw it, and as a person who has seen the Matrix first, I was like, oh, this is cool in a kind of overdone way.
Yeah.
But
it turns out
this came out first.
Least, well, but only by 2 weeks. At the very least, they came up with the idea independently of each other, or, and this is probably far more likely, a single videographer worked on both movies.
Yeah.
And did not tell either movie that he was also going to use it in the other movie. And so now people are like, oh, who ripped off who? And it's like, nobody. That asshole just didn't have any good idea. He had one good idea and he used it everywhere.
It is a possibility. Oh, there's a point where they say they're like the Space Navy or whatever, but then later on, Angel calls them Marines.
Well, Marines are technically part of the Department of Navy. So that actually would be an evolution of normal Earth.
Oh, wow. You learn something every day.
Yeah, they originally were part of the Navy. Now they're just a subset of the Navy. That's their own independent military branch. In fact, they don't have their own medics. Every other branch has its own form of medic. There is no Marine Corps medic. They use Navy corpsmen. So Navy soldiers, well, sailors, I guess is the proper term for them, will go to combat zones with Marines to act as their medics because they don't have them.
I'm learning. Okay, there's so many points in this movie where someone barges into somebody's room, and I'm just like, you would never barge into your commanding officer's room.
Well, you shouldn't barge into anyone's room, but
don't
he just
do
comes in and you don't know what she's doing. They talk about space durbation, so
oh yeah,
she could have been just really going to town, DJ Diddler, and that's a cutout scene that we were never going to get.
Okay.
Break a little bit on that one.
Just a touch. Yeah. Where was I?
The Spavy. Space Navy. Spavy. Everything is Spay now, like space durbation and spracist. This is good. This is good. We just created a whole sci-fi universe because that's all they do. They just slap.
We gotta keep it up.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh yeah, points for people just like do things that you would literally never do to like your commanding officer, your subordinate, etc.
Yeah. I don't like the confidence with which he talks back to her the whole time. It took me forever because I don't know if they mention it anywhere in the movie till later on that her call sign is Angel.
Oh, I just assumed that was her name.
Yeah, I know. But he's the only one that uses his name. Everyone else is Maniac. Oh no, Rosie does too, doesn't she?
No, don't they call her Forbes at some point?
I thought that was her last name.
That's what. Oh, maybe yeah.
I could be wrong. Could be wrong. No, now I'm taking it back because only a couple people use call signs. But they would though. They all would use call signs, and later on they point out that she look, it's even in quotes in her character name, Angel. Oh yeah, Paladin.
Yeah.
And in fact, Blair is a throwback to the original making of. Oh, I'm wearing the same hat as Freddie Prinze Jr. is in his picture.
Classy.
Blair is a throwback to the original character from the video games who had blue hair, and they were going to call him something blue hair, and then they decided to make him a more normal person, and they took blue hair and made it Blair.
Oh, well, there you go.
Stuff you learn.
Stuff you learn.
What was I? Why did I talk about that? Yeah, see, Rosie Forbes. I don't know, but Angel's her call sign, and I didn't understand why he would just be calling her by her first name this whole time.
Mhm.
Like, he's so familiar with her from day one.
That's literally what I thought.
And it makes more sense if it's her call sign, and it turns out that it is. We just never even learn her real first name.
Yeah. I hate this forced romance, the trope of the forced romance here in particular, where it's like the frigid bitch who's been burned before learns to love again.
Yeah.
Hated that.
Thank you, Freddie Prinze Jr., for your magical penis teaching me how to love again.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Again, Forbes and Maniac have a much better love story.
It's much more organic.
Because they have a relationship that could develop into feelings.
Mhm.
Yes, of course, it starts out as just physical attraction and human needs. But if we'd gotten to see more of it, it would have made it more traumatic when she dies and more impactful.
Oh yeah, I thought it was real nice that they just conveniently killed off their one lead woman of color.
Well, there's only 2 women in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so one's of color, they kill her off. There's a few people of color that are men, but they're secondary characters or tertiary characters.
Yeah.
But one of them is, like I said, Captain Panaka.
Mm-hmm.
And Star Wars fans will know who that is because he flies Queen Amidala's.
Sure.
He's part of her. Oh, he's the head of her security. Not the pilot. The pilot's the other guy, the weird guy. Looks like a child molester. Watch Star Wars Episode 1 again. Tell me that the pilot doesn't look like he wants to touch Anakin.
Oh my god. Okay.
What? Tell me I'm wrong. Watch the movie and tell me I'm wrong. That he's wearing a trench coat. He's like balding on top and a little stubbly, and he just eyeballs that kid.
All right. Oh, there's one point in this movie where everyone on the ship is like whispering as though the Kilrathi are going to hear them from their own ship.
Well, so okay, that's another thing that brought in the submarine analogy to me. That's very real in submarine warfare. Like, they turn off everything, so they're making no noise and stay completely silent. And in fact, when they were doing that, I wanted so bad for some fat guy to rip a big loud fart, right? And then the Kilrathi to be like, "What is that?" And then someone goes, "Oh, they probably heard that. We're gonna have to pretend we're space whales." And so someone would just be walking around forward and back on the ship, going, and if you don't get the reference, I can't help you. It's down Periscope. Excellent movie.
Noted. I don't get the reference.
It is a submarine movie where that happens. They have to go silent.
Classy.
A guy farts, and so somebody pretends to be a whale walking up and down the ship, and so they're like, "I think it's just a pod of whales, sir," and they sail off.
Fascinating.
It's fantastic. But yes, so I mean, in space the sound won't travel. So
Yeah.
what they could be listening for is like, say you have like something that would detect vibrations, which the sonic noises would make against the hull would make it vibrate a little bit. It won't
Yeah.
transmit into space.
Yeah.
But if you can scan the solid surface for vibrations, I mean, we have microphones that do that right now. They'll scan glass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
You've never heard of a telescopic microphone? It's a
Oh.
spy thing. It's a real thing.
Oh, wow.
They just they read the vibrations on the glass and turn that back into sound waves and give you audio.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. What a time to be alive.
Yes, and watch Wing Commander.
You're
welcome.
I'm good.
I seriously, I thought this was going to be meh, and it was a little bit better than meh.
This was a really hard meh for me. Sorry.
That's okay. We don't always see eye to eye on these.
I thought their like battle suits in the end were pretty well designed.
The Kilrathi?
No.
When they're in their spacesuits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought it looked pretty decent. I wish we'd gotten to see some more of the Kilrathi, because again, like the fact that they were practical, I always want to see more of that.
Get to see more of them.
But
it was probably expensive and hard to do. They probably filmed all those scenes in a couple of days, and then those guys were tired. Went home.
Which is kind of the bitch of it, because it makes me want to see more of it. Like the fact that they bothered to put something in front of the camera.
And that's why it should have gotten a sequel or a remake. It's been almost 30 years. It's prime for a remake.
I'll allow it. Oh, and then the reveal that Taggart is part Pilgrim too.
Oh, you didn't see that coming from 1,000 miles away?
Thought that was very cliche.
It was stupid. But it was like right from the first scene when he's like, the cross you wear, let me see it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, also, why was he French?
Because the actor's French. That amazing actor is French.
Whatever. I thought it was just a guy doing a bad French accent.
No. That is. Oh. Yeah. This guy grew up in Paris, studied drama at Cyrano Theater.
Man's IMDb page is listing like Othello, other Shakespeare plays,
Bad Boys, The Patriot, La Femme Nikita. I mean, he's everywhere, and he's a good actor. He just happens to also be in La Foirette de Disperse, a TV miniseries, and Romantique, Noël à tous les étages, and so on. Lot of these are Frenchy French films, but he is also in, like I said, a lot of good stuff.
Sure. I thought as much as it was a good move using that like gravitational anomaly to defeat the Kilrathi.
Oh yeah. But why are they stupid?
Yeah, why are they stupid was kind of my question.
Like, I get that they see a beacon and they understand that beacons are like jump points or whatever, but they also are an advanced space traveling race that uses gravitational wells for jump points and stuff. Why
would they not
they
see
have
that coming?
eyes?
Yeah.
And screens to see and scanners. So yes, they see the beacon and I think that's, at first they think that's the fleet he's leading them to. But like real quick, they should be like, that's not the fleet. It just stopped. I think he's going to jump again. Maybe he's going towards the jump point. I don't know. We're just going to stay here.
Yeah. Would have been real smart. There's so much nothing that happens in the third act.
Oh, Brooks is here. What happens in the third act? Nothing happens in the third act. Yes, nothing happens in the third act. It's a lot of jump here, do there.
Yeah.
In the best battle scenes are stripped away by using the very good strategy they had, which is we'll circle the jump point where they're going to land and just open fire before they can even get their shields up or send a communication back. Brilliant. But what needed to happen was more than one ship needed to follow Freddy
Mhm.
Prince Jr. through, and then they needed to come up behind and create some tension where if they don't hold that point, some of the Kilrathi ships might make it through the other way, and then they might be screwed.
Mhm. Yeah, this needed to have more like weight to it.
Yeah, more tension. Again, we need more tension, more actual battles, not a few fighters flying around.
Yeah,
I mean, the one scene where we get the two capital ships broadsiding each other,
kind of cool.
it was a pretty cool effect. I don't understand the logic of it a lot, but it looked pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This wasn't for me, man.
That guy was Captain Panaka.
Cool. Do we want to get into ratings?
I guess we need a French art. Oh boy.
We got to get you a beret.
No, I wore my beret long enough. I'm good. That's the headwear of U.S. soldiers.
Oh yeah.
I am quite done with berets. Thank you very much. No, thank you.
What was I saying?
Ratings.
Ratings.
Do you want to know the IMDb rating?
Sure.
4.3.
Yeah, for rewatchability for me, this is like a 2.
Okay. All right.
Really just not interested in watching this again.
What about how impactful or original to the genre or film in general?
3.
Knowing that it co-created the spin cam effect,
The Matrix did it so much better.
literally did. It's identical, but all right. Also, this came out first. Therefore, if you're weighing the impact, this was more impactful because it did it first.
I don't know about that.
I would probably give this a 5 on rewatchability. Like, barely a 5. Like, I would rewatch it again. But mostly if I was showing somebody else, like for this,
Mhm.
I'm probably not going to sit down and watch it again until I'm like, oh, you've never seen Wing Commander? You should check it out. It's a pretty interesting sci-fi movie if you're looking for sci-fi. For what it does for the genre. They do space combat kind of fun. They don't try and do anything too fancy.
They
that
really
doesn't
don't
work.
get particularly fancy with it.
But I mean that in a good way. Like, because sometimes when you see space combat,
mean,
they treat it
yeah,
like they're
so there's-
dogfighting in atmosphere, and that's not how space combat works.
Yeah. Sometimes there's no swings and misses, but there's no home runs either.
Yeah. It's very safe down the middle, but it's so it's not very creative. So nothing there. And all the best stuff about the space combat are things that, like I said, if you just put this in an ocean and turn them into
Submarines?
destroyers and submarines, this plays out like a World War II film wonderfully.
Yeah.
But not that new or inventive, other than the fact that they're applying it to sci-fi. Just, hey, here's an age-old tactic. Let's do that. So yeah, probably like a 3.5 for what it contributed. And most of that I would weigh towards that spin cam and the practical effects for the ships and the Kilrathi suits.
That seems fair.
Like, if they can do the Kilrathi and make them look like that, and the Ninja Turtles can do the Ninja Turtles in the 90s and make them look like that, there is no reason we couldn't have had better fantasy and sci-fi monsters since 2000. And we got mostly CGI'd until we got things like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Where they're like, no, we're gonna put makeup on dudes. And we're going to make sure that there's 1,000 different individual combinations. And then we're going to copy paste them at random. But there's 1,000 individuals. So it's going to be really hard for you to pick it out in an army of 400,000 people.
Lord of the Rings, my beloved.
Right. Like, that's my point. Like, that's doing copy paste CGI right.
Yeah.
First, make sure there's a variation.
That's doing the absolute most.
Yeah. You cannot do more than what they did realistically. Because of the makeup and stuff. There are other movies that do all practical effects for large army scenes. Like Braveheart has battles with like thousands of soldiers, but what they did was they just had the Irish National Guard to cosplay for them.
Oh, Sergei Bondarchuk's War and Peace, which is like 7 fucking hours, like had the entire weight of the Russian government behind it,
Nice.
and the battle sequences are utterly insane.
I can only
Like
say I'm so glad it's not sci-fi.
like some of the big, like some of the largest battle sequences ever put to film still.
But yeah, so not the most impactful movie and not the best movie, but for me it's very middling. I'm not disappointed. I actually was impressed because I remembered it being more middling. I thought the 4.3 was going to be maybe even a little high, but I feel like it's just a hair low.
No. I think the 4.3 is a little high.
Well, to each their own. So, if you were going to recast somebody, we already did that to make it better. We know what we would do.
Linda Cardellini, baby.
Literally make her Paladin, make her
anybody.
Give her Jurgen Prochnow's position. Like, it does not matter. She could be anyone in this movie, and it's immediately at least half a star better.
Yep.
So, but who can we break the movie? Like, it won't work if we replace the character or because we put an actor. That's podcasting.
That is podcasting.
Or because we put someone in that just is too distracting.
I mean,
it's 1999.
Replace Jurgen Prochnow with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Still get the German accent.
That breaks the
Austrian.
Movie. That breaks the movie.
And then because of
way
the
too
name
distracting.
recognition, it's way too distracting. His accent's way thicker and harder to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would break it. I think who's a character who needs to be serious the whole time that we can make not serious? Paladin, the French guy?
Yeah.
So if we replace him with like that's some color of the movie. Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, even if he's playing it totally straight, I just can't take it seriously.
Right. I just feel like that would be not right. It just would not work.
You just can't cast anyone who's naturally funny.
Right, because there's going to be at least one line he says that you're going to laugh at and then not sure if you're supposed to. Because he's just funny.
Yeah. No, that definitely breaks it.
Get to the space chopper.
I was in love with Freddie Prinze Jr. in middle school. Brooks, I am not remotely surprised.
Who wasn't?
Yeah.
Now, granted, for us, he was popular when we were in middle school.
I mean, still, I remember seeing him in movies and when I was in middle school and being like, ooh.
I thought he like kind of died out for a while.
I mean, yes, but I was just watching older movies.
Oh, okay, yeah, because like I remember him being in the Scooby Doo's, and then he married Sarah Michelle Gellar, and that's really all I remember.
A queen and her himbo, by the way.
Whoa! I didn't say there was anything wrong with them. I'm so happy that they met and fell in love, and good for them. But I just don't remember him doing anything after that. I think he became like a house husband,
which like slay.
I for sure would be. Like for Sarah Michelle Gellar, Linda Cardellini, like Sigourney Weaver. Like there's names out there. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there are definitely some people in this universe that I would become a be inclusive here, house spouse for.
I'd probably be a house spouse for almost anyone if they take care of me well.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a simple woman.
Yeah. You feed me, you provide me with shelter, and I will keep your home clean and rub your feet and whatever is required of me, mistress. Anyway,
anyway, how's it going?
For me, it was both. That's what Brooke said. For me, it was a surprise for me, but it was both. Yeah, people in love with at least half of the Prince Geller marriage.
Yeah, that's a real Por qué no los dos situation.
Like, I get all the words, but what is the English equivalent?
Why not both?
Okay, it's the why not both. Okay. I understood all the words.
Yeah, it's a little weird when you translate it literally.
Right. And since I didn't know which phrase it was trying to be. Yeah. No, but it's literally just the why not both. Okay. Yeah. I'll make Sarah Michelle Gellar a sandwich whenever she wants.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. So
also,
absolutely.
Chris, nice move with the cricket sound effects. I'm late thanking you this, but that's fucking
I was just
producing.
moving on. Yes, that was actually very well done because I was just staring blankly at the ceiling thinking. No, the pause is just that long.
No, yep. We're both just buffering tonight.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that was Wing Commander. I mean, I want a remake. That's what I want. I want them to take this.
I will allow a remake.
I feel like it deserves it because it just missed the mark. This is what I've been saying forever. They don't need to remake things that did well. They need to remake things that didn't quite land. Aragon.
I absolutely agree with you there about remaking things that didn't quite land. I don't know if this only just missed the mark.
I think it was partially just it came out at the wrong time. It came out next to so many other very big movies. We've talked about this before. Equilibrium is an excellent movie. Like, it's genuinely a very good movie. You've never heard of it, except for when I talk about it, because it came out around the same time as The Matrix and is very similar in concept.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. That will most certainly do it.
Did you see Volcano or did you see Dante's Peak?
I saw Dante's Peak.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Volcano?
Nope.
Exactly. That's how it happens. Like,
we watched Dante's Peak in my 8th grade earth science class, and then we had to answer discussion questions about what was wrong with it.
That's kind of cool.
It was a fun time.
1999 movies, by the way.
Just look at how many awesome things came out in 99. End of Days, Mystery Men, Sleepy Hollow. Sorry, Lycanthrope? There's a movie from 1999 called Lycanthrope?
Apparently.
Whack.
Like and follow for more Lycanthrope.
That should be the tagline for your werewolf database.
Oh my gosh, like and follow for more Lycanthrope. Yeah.
Yep. Nicely done.
Yes, it's all coming together. So, do you want to pick a movie now?
I am going to look at my Letterboxd watch list and see what I have under sci-fi.
Flip to the next page here and put a title on here for our 415 episode. You know how badly I wanted to text you and be like, let's do a different movie and just not tell anyone, but then we will talk about the movie but always say Wing Commander and actors from Wing Commander.
That would have been really funny. Why did we not do that?
Yeah, because just like the whole time we're talking about a movie named Wing Commander, talking about the actors and characters from Wing Commander, but we've just substituted them in for a different movie.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been so much fun.
That would have been hilarious. Remind us to do that next year.
Yeah, we'll do a special episode on 4 no matter what. I came up with that idea too late.
Love that. Man, there's my watch list is so varied in like quality.
Yeah, I mean that's how we got to Wing Commander.
I do not know. We could watch another Stuart Gordon movie.
Pretty much always down for that, but we don't want to get too bogged down because May.
This is true. This is very true. We will save another Stuart Gordon movie for much further down the line.
Yeah.
I'm gonna list some things, and I want you to tell me which of these you most want me to see first.
Okay, the things you haven't seen that you want me to tell you. Okay.
So I've never seen Tron.
Oh, there's actually at least one guy from this is a main character in that. Admiral Tolwyn is in that.
David Warner?
Is that David Warner?
Yeah.
I don't remember who's who.
Oh.
I know the name, but I don't have the face to it. That makes sense.
I have never seen Tron. I have never seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Carry on. Carry on.
I have never seen AI. I have never seen War of the Worlds.
Like the Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have never seen The Fifth Element.
Ouch. That hurts deeply.
Yeah.
I can keep going.
Uh,
I can make it worse. I've never seen Back to the Future.
what? It was a fun run, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
This has been Regrettable Reviews, and we're sorry to part ways like this, but this is just how it happens sometimes, you know?
Sorry.
Wow. So for me, those are a lot of those were classics that I want you to see. So as much as I want to force you to watch either AI or Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I actually don't mind AI, but it's pretty much it's not loved. I think that Fifth Element or Tron, that's a classic. I think those are probably pretty high up on my I want you to watch them list.
Of those two, I think the one I want to watch more is The Fifth Element.
Okay, that's fine. It's Luke Besson.
So let's do The Fifth Element.
Did you see Valerian and the City of a Thousand Stars or whatever?
Nope.
Oh, okay, because that's also him and his very wildly animated. But anyway, Fifth Element. Yeah, you are in for a treat.
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Now I'm excited.
don't research Luke Besson too much. Don't do that.
Noted.
It's great movie. Don't look into him too much.
Don't watch the non-American version of The Professional.
Oh yeah. Don't watch
Oh,
the
that's
foreign
this
version of The
guy.
Professional.
I've heard tell.
I mean, yeah. I can still like the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing Fifth Element. And I'm very excited for that. I think you're gonna love it. Because it's very wild and different.
I'm already liking the sound of that.
It doesn't spoil anything to tell you that it feels like a mixture of like dystopia and utopia.
Okay.
Like very advanced civilization with like it just feels like they're not meeting the needs of the day-to-day people when you're like looking around,
All right.
which is very realistic. You know,
I was about to
that's
say.
more likely to happen than the Federation.
So
I'm just
today?
saying. Yeah, it's much more likely to be our future than the Federation is. And Bruce Willis is a cab driver, and you get to hear the line that I use probably once a day, but at least 2 or 3 times a week, which is, yeah, it's a multi-pass. She knows it's a multi-pass.
Cool.
And the accent gets just more and more Jersey every time I do it, even though it's Bruce Willis. I don't know why.
I love it.
Just, no matter what, if I'm showing somebody something, I'm like, yeah, it's a multi-pass. She knows it's a multi-pass.
Chris Tucker is amazing in that movie.
Oh my God. Super green. Oh my God.
I'm
Yes.
really excited.
Oh, you're going to love him. He's like the gayest little radio DJ ever. It's so wonderful.
Yay.
Oh. Corbin Dallas multipass. Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's been up?
I've been super busy.
Anything fun?
I mean, yes and no. You can join virtually. Brooks said she was sad she couldn't do Fifth Element with us.
Oh, yeah, join virtually.
Two virtual guests. So I start my official firefighter training courses over the next 3 months. I have to get you the calendar because I'm going to be missing a lot of Big Dumb Monsters and maybe some
Okay, that's fine.
our show. Might have to
That is
reschedule.
fine.
But you know, it's cool because now I'm officially going to, be lit on fire and stuff, and
I love that for
do all
you.
that fun stuff. You know the scene in Evolution where he's doing his firefighter training and everything? You've never seen Evolution.
Mm-mm.
Oh. 429. Evolution.
But isn't it good that I've never seen so many of these because I can bring fresh perspective to it?
It's Julianne Moore and David Coveney.
Oh my. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
try to keep your pants on, okay? It's gonna be hard. Nice. She has the DVD for Evolution. I used to have it. I lost it.
Nice. Oh, you can bring it. I'll borrow it.
Yep. So doing that, and it's just been hectic. My son had a birthday this weekend, so
Aw, happy birthday to your son.
planning for that was wildly complicated because I wanted it to be good. Yes, I also quote that one. We have established that cookie, tuki, and caca do not work.
I will understand in 2 weeks.
It's Orlando Jones talking to Sean William Scott. Yeah, I'm just going to keep dropping names on you.
Yeah,
because it's
none of this is meaning anything.
Like those actors mean nothing to you?
I mean, Bruce Willis means something to me, but other than that,
Oh, no. We're talking Evolution.
oh, then no.
Can you give me an ice cream? Yeah, what flavor? Doesn't matter. It's for my ass.
Oh,
So
boy.
anyway, you're gonna love Fifth Element, but I actually think you're really gonna love Evolution as well. So I already put it down. I'm like, that's what we're doing on 429.
This is as far as we've ever planned ahead. You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah. I digress. So yes, what have you been up to? How are you doing?
I haven't been up to a ton,
Well,
but Ghost is doing things, and that's really exciting for me.
I get that. You live vicariously through bands a lot.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Actually, Ghost, Sleep Token, and Avatar are all currently active. So there's a fun little preview of my worsening on Fighting with Friends tomorrow, because that's definitely making me a lot worse. But that's all very exciting. And yeah, so much of the things that I have going on right now have to do with like either Ghost, plans to see Ghost in the future, or just like random other things like that.
Okay. Well, that's a segue into tomorrow. We have Fighting with Friends.
Tomorrow we do have Fighting with Friends after we took a week off.
Are you doing Vinland Saga on Thursday?
We are also doing Vinland Saga. Last week we were off. We were doing Vinland Saga on Thursday as well this week. So that's exciting. And then
Saturday in
it's
Queensbury.
Be so exciting. We're going to have a fantastic time. And in case you can't get enough of the network, after Retro Nerd Fest, we are going to be doing Drunk and Disorderly.
That is indeed the case.
Which is going to be a roaring good time, I would imagine.
Yes, it is con season kickoff. Con season kickoff.
Yes. Very exciting.
All hail con season.
All hail con season indeed. That's the thing. I feel like I've been doing so much nothing. I need things to do, and I'm finally just getting to the top of like the hill on the roller coaster.
Yeah, like getting through the summer in con season is what makes the year worth it. And then you get to glide into the holiday season and just disappear a little bit.
Yeah.
But then the beginning of the year just sucks.
The beginning of the year
just waiting for
sucks,
everything. So we got to start
brother.
our own con.
We do need to start our own con.
The big dumb con.
Yes. But yeah, I'm finally now at the top of the hill and it's about to drop. So that's going to be great.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's this weekend in Queensbury.
Yes.
At some
Very
place.
Excited.
In some location from 11 to 4.
Yes.
That's it for this week. Then it's just back to the regulars next week. And then in May, we get Saratoga.
And maybe we get Saratoga. Oh my God. Exciting.
Yeah. Because trivia and staying overnight. And just really.
It is going to be a time.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be really, really fucking good.
I guess that's all I have.
Yeah. That's all she wrote.
Except for murders. She wrote those two.
Yeah, she did.
Hashtag produced.
Hashtag produced indeed. All right. We want to leave everybody with our words of wisdom.
We sure do.
Never shake alien eggs.
Don't trust the android.